Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be repairing some cracks in my farm trailer that we use especially in deer season to carry deer. So I'm going to get these cracks fixed up before deer season starts, which is in a couple weeks. You can see these hairline cracks starting on the tongue. Going to get those patched up, and then when I was hauling big rock for the pond for that emergency overflow, this weld broke. It welds the frame to the main body. This trailer is an old bed frame, and it was left on the farm whenever we bought it. A friend of mine found it in the woods, and he actually had the idea. He said, "You need to turn this into a deer cart for hunting season." So I did, and since I've used it for I mean, you've seen this in almost a lot of my videos on the farm. I use it to haul our tree seedlings around. I use it to haul, logs, rocks, you name it. It's a great little trailer. So these welds just, this thing takes a lot of abuse. I put a lot of weight on it, and it gets banged around, bouncing around the farm. So I'm gonna patch these cracks on, especially on the tongue, before they turn, basically before it breaks. Because if that bottom piece of that tongue broke while you're hauling anything, and if you didn't have enough tongue weight, that trailer would flip up in the air. So get these cracks patched up. Just getting the paint off them right now with the wire wheel. You can see them after they're cleaned up. Just hairline cracks, so just put some spot welds on them. I have to run the generator in this little Harbor Freight Meg at the farm because I don't have electricity, so it's, this isn't going to be pretty at all, but it'll be functional. Right here I realized that the overload on the generator tripped. You can hear it just idled down and the welder stopped working. So I gotta shut it off and restart it. generator overload tripped again, so I got to give it another restart. If you haven't watched any of the prior videos of me using this setup to weld at the farm, it's a 2,000 watt generator. It's Wen brand. I think I got it on Amazon years ago. And it's a Harbor Freight 90 amp flux core MIG welder. And I'm running on the min setting on the MIG welder. There's only two settings, max and min. I don't know what amperage the min is, but I'm running on the min, and I'm running at like 2.5 on the feed. And I later discovered in this video that the 2.5 on the feed was the problem. If I run like between 1 and 2 on the feed, it won't trip the overload on the generator. So for the next weld, you'll see me turn the feed down, and I'm able to make that the last weld without tripping the overload. Tripped the overload that one last time, and this is when I turn the feed rate down on the welder between 1 and 2, and I get the rest of the way through the weld without tripping the overload again. You see I also didn't get good penetration. It wouldn't stick to that bottom like unistrut or whatever that is. It's only sticking to that angle. So I tried to knock it off the angle, and it really adhered to that. So the next weld, you'll see me focus the heat, the wire down onto that unistrut to try to get it to stick. This little tack doesn't work, so chip that out, and then I'll put a lot of heat on this next weld down towards the unistrut. Here it is after I touched up the welds with the Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. This trailer was super rusty when I restored it. So I just pressure washed it, and then I put one coat of this Rusty Metal Primer with a brush on the whole trailer. And it has not rusted back through any of this paint. So it holds up really well. And even like carrying those big rocks and logs, and they would hit it. And it doesn't even really scrape the paint off, surprisingly. So I would recommend this stuff for sure. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.